What's good out there, everybody? This is GeekSet Radio. One more time in your ears. My name is Jut with my man Danny.
What's up, people?
And we got a special guest, family of the show. What's good, Princeton?
What up? What's going on?
All right, y'all. We're gonna do with our tech segment first, and it's all three of our favorite time. It's less shit on Apple time.
Woohoo! That's what I live for.
So apparently they're having some more stock problems.
Man, they're dropping like Pacquiao over there. They are dropping. They're down to and I mean, Apple stock problems is like one of them good problems almost if you got money like that. But they're under 400. Last I checked the other day, they were like at 390. And what do you guys think is causing this?
Everybody else having better stuff.
Basically, yeah. That's boring.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so long that you can keep, the same product pretty much, now that you've got really actually what it really boils down to is options.
Yeah. What I'm wondering is how are they going to stop the bleeding? Because, I mean, they already, quote unquote, innovated the smartphone and the tablet. The rumors I'm hearing is with that Apple TV, but a TV is not going to save them.
Well, especially not a TV that's going to be fucking priced out crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like the TV's market's tough to get into. They're not going to... TV market's already pretty advanced. You could have made an argument that when they started to get into the smartphone and the tablet game, that it was kind of weak. But the TV market's already pretty strong.
You're going to try to jump market on that smartwatch too, though.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think what's going to happen, it's going to end up leveling out. And I don't know. I don't even know if it's going to impact them so much right away. But for the last year, you can kind of see their little, I guess you could call it a downward spiral. But, I mean, I don't really even think people are tripping off of it like they used to. I think it's come to be expected now that there's, like I said, there's more options out on the market now. So I think it kind of starting to even itself out.
Yeah, that, and I think that people aren't totally surprised. There hasn't been a total panic with them dropping. Because, people expected this to happen just because, like we've pointed out, like others pointed out, you can only make a certain phone, and no doubt about it, the iPhone is their moneymaker. You can only make a phone thinner and longer for so much without a radical redesign. Now, the question is, are they willing to take that chance and radically redesign the iPhone, which could be a total fail for them? Or a win?
Yeah, I guess only time will really tell because they've got to do something, but it's not really out of their way to throw something out there that's not in their because I mean, if you look at all of their products, they're all similar. Like all the iPods are similar, all the MacBooks are pretty similar. So for them to really step outside the box, it's going to have to take something drastic. And I don't know if this stock drop is drastic enough for them to panic.
Yeah, me neither. I think their stock has...
New wave is software. With the Galaxy S4, I mean, they basically have the same Galaxy S3, but it's a whole bunch of new software innovations. So iOS is going to have to do some real drastic shit to come back.
Yeah, pretty much. Like we were saying last week, how, like you said, the S4 is, aesthetic-wise, it's like the same thing, but, you got the new Smart Stays technology and all of that, but Apple really hasn't made any big advances software-wise from phone to phone. So that's another thing that they're really, lacking on.
They could open up their software. That could be, like Prince had just said with the software. They could open up their software, make it more customizable. But that, what's the thing? That they're so hard-headed over that just isn't their style. That just isn't their steez.
Yeah, I don't know. Something's going to have to give. Push going to have to come to shove over there. And somebody's going to have to do something. But anyway, let's move on to this this shit that I stumbled on Engadget last week. Danny, that article that we wrote like a long ass time ago together when I was talking about battery technology and all of that. Apparently, we've got a new lithium-ion battery that recharges 1,000 times faster than normal batteries, and it's small as shit too. We got a lot of developments with processors, making phones run more efficiently, but we pretty much have the same, similar battery technology. So this is kind of a breath of fresh air for mobile devices.
I swear, when I was reading this a while ago, I was like, man, this sounds like one of them conspiracies, like one of them things the phone companies are going to get together. I mean, the mobile phone companies are going to get together and like conspire so this does not come out. Because it almost sounds too good to be true. Like, imagine charging the battery on your phone 1,000 times faster than what the fuck it charges now.
Prince?
I just think that'd be a fucking great idea. Because a lot of these phones aren't charging that fast.
Nah, not at all.
The only phones I've seen charge that fast is the iPhone and the Nexus. Other than that, everything just about the same.
Yeah, like I noticed my S3 like has a tendency to charge slow sometimes. Like it really depends. But I think more so than like the actual charging of the battery, the cool thing that I read about this is that it says it can help, or it's expected to help broadcast radio signals 30 times farther. So that's going to be, one big thing that kills battery now in these phones is if you have weak signal, the radio is going to constantly scan for a good connection. So the worse your connection is, the harder your processor has to work, the harder the radio has to work. The harder your battery is going to be running. So if this can make the radio more efficient, it's going to improve battery like by a lot just from that aspect alone.
Battery is one of the things I think should have been innovated with all the money that Samsung and Apple and even Google makes. I think battery. I'm surprised really nobody's really came out with a phone. Like, look, here's this phone. It might not have a great 5-inch screen or 64 gigabytes of storage or whatever, but here's a phone that you put it to charge, and this shit's gonna last you 18 hours worth of use in between, or 20 hours worth of use in between. Like these phones now, like really with about 5 to 6 hours worth of heavy use, and you're running to get a charger.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Like I go to work, like I get up like 10, 11, sometimes later, and depending on what I'm doing during the day, if I'm using my phone, I leave for work at about 3:30. So my battery is usually like 70, 80%, depending on what I've been doing. And then if I don't charge it at work and I'm using like Spotify or whatever, like my service is bad inside the job, so obviously, it crushes my battery. So usually by like 6 o'clock, I'm at like 30%, so then I have to charge it, which, like I said, is not too bad considering that I get like 1 or 2 bars of service inside my job, and I hate using the work Wi-Fi because it's ass, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, no, that's real though. That's real, and I think improving battery and service is something, because we all have like our favorite, which company, depending on where you're at, what state you're in, has the better service. But better battery, better reception. I'll pay a premium for that at this point.
Yeah, I'll pay Apple prices for that, maybe.
I better be getting fucking 24 hours worth of use for Apple prices though.
We can go back to having that battery like that we had on them Nokias.
People sleep on those, man. Yo, those old phones, people sleep on those. My mom has one of those old phones, and I swear she can plug that thing in. I mean, she barely uses it, but she can go a good 3-4 days in between the charge on them small phones.
It don't do shit.
Yeah, then again, it doesn't do shit. I was gonna say.
All right, I'm gonna toss this next subject to y'all so I can avoid another rant. But I didn't think of it till after I threw this in the show notes about my rant from last week about the good folks in Utah. But Google Fiber goes to fucking Provo, Utah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna throw to one of y'all first, so I don't go off again.
I mean, even before that, like, cause fucking Austin got it before Utah got it, but like, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy this is expanding because this is something I think we need to see, this gigabyte internet. Provo, Austin, Texas, not that big of a surprise. I think we've heard of it. I've never heard of fucking Provo, Utah, and when I do say the name, I think of some fucking cheese. First of all, some damn cheese, but fucking yeah. I mean, the only interesting thing that came out of this, Google had to buy their current network, and they pulled that off for $1. Don't even ask me how. They paid $1 for their current network infrastructure, and part of the deal is that Google has to upgrade their whole network, basically out of their own pocket. So that's why they paid $1 for the current network, and they're providing this gigabyte internet free for 25 public institutions, which is something that I already know they did in Kansas, and by that they mean like local county colleges, local schools, local libraries. All those people are getting free, super high-speed internet thanks to Google. So, and I like the pace it's moving because Austin got announced, and then literally 2 to 3 weeks later, Provo got announced. So, fucking me personally, I say keep it coming.
Prince, you got anything about Utah?
I don't, man. And I don't at all. Like, I don't really care about it yet. Right now, I mean, I'm glad it's expanding, but these little markets they're doing as far as like Kansas and Utah, I just don't care yet.
I can understand like Kansas City to a certain extent. Like, I think they petitioned or something like that to get it added there, and that was the city that won. But like, them motherfuckers in Provo ain't doing nothing with that internet speed.
Exactly.
They ain't doing nothing.
I never seen one World Star video.
They're gonna download their little Photoshop flyers to print out, or they're gonna spam my Facebook again.
I've never seen one World Star video from Provo.
It's because it's all white folks and Samoans.
That is crazy. But yeah, I mean, I guess.
Shit up there but mountains, bruh.
I guess I know it really doesn't make sense thinking that Kansas City, Austin, and it was real random as why Provo got it. I wouldn't be surprised if somebody from Google has some type of relation to like the local government up there or something.
It's them Mormons, man.
Yeah, it seemed. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's right. I didn't even down with that.
It's them Mormons.
Maybe they just want to test the small markets first. I don't.
Maybe, but I mean, like, I don't understand what the benefit would be of us testing in a small market, because you're only gonna get a small percentage. Unless maybe the smaller markets are easier for them to build their infrastructure in, depending on what they use, because I would imagine that is unique in their own sense. They wouldn't use existing, cable lines or whatever, that are already there. So maybe that's what it is.
Or I don't know what the income bracket is up there, but maybe, there's a high income bracket up there and more people will sign up for it, because people forget, Google does come to these cities, but people do have to pay a little bit out of pocket to have this service available.
Well, they ain't spending money to drink, so...
Yeah. So maybe it's that, or maybe Provo's just... What's another major city in Utah? What is it, Salt Lake?
Salt Lake City?
Salt Lake City. I don't know how close that is, so maybe it's a connection to that. But this was really a weird pick from Kansas City to Austin to Provo.
Well, does it fucking surprise you that Mormons or anything involving Mormons is weird? I just want to throw that out there.
Speaking of Mormons, have y'all heard the story of John McCain's family? You never heard that? How they're like, and I'm talking about like way back, like fucking 1800s back, when Mexico was like almost half owned by the United States. Fucking his family, they were back then they were polygamists. They were Mormons. They were polygamists. And, they were trying to cut that shit out over here. So they moved over to Mexico. That was really just really fucking random. Really weird. So they did that. And they have a compound down there. They have a huge compound down in Mexico.
Nothing good comes from people on a compound. Ever. Like, there's guaranteed to have some fuckery. But you know what though? Outside of all the Mormon shit talking, I wonder if they're doing that to. There's probably some good ski resorts up there.
Some crazies.
So maybe they're trying to tap into that.
Some crazy. I bet you know what's real popular up there. I bet you whenever you have these strict ass communities, there's always a crazy ass porn addictions.
Hey, you know what? You might be onto something.
I bet you more porn gets streamed out of Provo than anywhere else in the United States.
Well, I just hope it's normal porn and none of that crazy shit.
That's that mommy
That's all
porn.
I'm gonna say. I'm not even gonna go there. Let's I like, you know what though? I like the idea of the a la carte programming. So you can, get what you want. Because, like, I got a good amount of channels on DirecTV, and I swear I only use, like, 10 of them.
Me too. That's why when I saw this, and although, once some people started pointing out, that you can get on other services, you can get these channels for cheaper. I mean, even the fact that Google's offering this and that, they got HBO to allow this, because I've read interviews before where they've asked the CEO of HBO if he would ever allow HBO Go to be a standalone service, and he said no. So just the fact that they allowed these channels to be a semi-standalone service in Google Fiber being a whole new thing, I think it's big. But I'm with you, and a lot of people are. I don't need all them fucking channels. I mean, I've literally narrowed it down before, and I've said it over at the Kali. All I really need is fucking Stars, AMC, HBO, fucking one of them Animal Planet, one of them animal shows, and CNN. That's it. The Nature Channel and CNN. Like, that's really it. I just need about 5 channels. Besides that, I don't fucking really watch the rest of them.
Yeah, I mean, I watch my sports channels, and that's pretty much it. Like, besides AMC and all of that, like, that's pretty much it. Like, and then, outside of that, I use Netflix, but so far as TV programming, it's really ESPN, Fox Soccer, which, I pay fucking whatever a month for that. But that's actually one of the subscriptions that actually is worth the money, in my eyes. But I dropped my HBO and I really don't miss it. But I don't really watch anything on HBO, so it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, just having the option of being able to pick what I want, and still make out on a good fee for that, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I can, like I said, I'm feeling this. Like, they need to expand this. These fucking cable companies to get off their high horse. And I mean, I've heard before how much like ESPN charges. Like, I heard they charge a pretty like crazy amount to for people to broadcast their channels. And whenever I read about this, I always hear dudes saying, it's the sports that they need. So if some type of deal can be worked out with ESPN, I think other sports channels, if they exist, will fall into line.
Yeah, it really, at the end of the day, it kind of just boils down to money. If the cable company's going to get their just due, and we said, we kind of said it before that they're trying to undercut everybody. They started doing it with phones. They might be doing that with phone service soon. So it wouldn't surprise me that next on their list is cable.
Speaking of that, not to get off on a little riff, but whatever happened? Remember the phone service they were supposed to have?
I don't think it got approved.
Yeah, because they needed to buy the spectrum from like Dish Network or something. Yeah, that totally fell into the bushes.
Yeah, I haven't heard nothing about that for a while. Oh, go ahead.
Didn't Dish just make some kind of deal recently?
Yeah, like it was announced, I guess, but maybe it was like, I think it might have been one of those things where someone had leaked information, but it was like still real early on in the deal. But I swear, like, they had gotten some spectrum from them. Let me
Yeah, because that
Google
was
this real quick.
to me, like the interesting thing about that, you figure that's something. I mean, I don't know the logistics of it, but that's something that can go in tandem with like hand in hand, excuse me, with the Google Fiber thing. You know, as you're in these cities installing Google Fiber, you know, you'd offer your Google phone service or whatever.
That would be a good look. I mean, and just having whatever, you know, whatever Google services you want, um, especially mobile service, like that would definitely be a good look. And I think that it'll be, you know, more consumer beneficial than anything. And like I said earlier, some of those companies ain't gonna be having that. But at that point, you know, what really are they gonna be able to do if people by the mass are like, you know, fuck this, I'm going to Google.
Yep. Yeah, competition is always good.
Let's move along and let's let our guest here talk about his phone escapades. I don't even know where you want to start, man. If you want to tell everybody about your bet, or you're changing phones like you've been changing draws.
First of all, I'm not rich or nothing like that, man. Once you start like buying and selling these things, they kind of pay for themselves, really. I think last time I was on the show, I had the S3 from Sprint.
Yeah.
And I just kind of like sold that, and I just switched to networks. So that's basically where like the investment money came from. That's when I sold that phone. And from there, I jumped to the Nexus 4, which I still have, actually. That's like the toy. And Nexus devices are great if you never had one. It's good for customizing and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of like the experiment phone. You still on T-Mobile, Danny?
No. Fuck T-Mobile. I'm on Simple Mobile. I did it. I did it just like I said. As soon as that contract was up, called them up, told them to go fuck themselves, and I went right to Simple Mobile, and I fucking paid $43, unlimited minutes, text, and fucking internet. Although only my first fucking 250 megabytes are at 4G speeds, then it shoots down. But it's fucking $43 compared to what the fuck I was getting raped for over there.
Yeah, but you really can't do much with your cell phone, right?
No, then again, that's another reason why I'm chilling, because like the 3G or 2G speeds that I get bumped down to are slow as fuck, but I really don't mind because I really can't do much with my phone at all. But even when I plan on getting a new phone later on, like I'm still rock with them. As I said, $43 for unlimited everything is really unbeatable. And if the speeds are too bad, you know, there's other prepaid people you can jump over to for a couple more bucks. But that whole thing about being tied down to a contract, which you probably heard our last episode on Prince, like it's becoming less of a trend. Really, it depends on what your situation is. Like right now, I'm in limbo as far as phone goes, and I fucking even like where I'm living. So this prepaid thing is feeding me good right now.
I was just wondering if you're still there. I was gonna recommend that Nexus 4 to you. Never mind.
Oh no! I'm still planning. No, you know what's funny? That I'm still planning on getting the Nexus 4 straight from Google. That I'm planning on getting that phone, you know, whatever, through them unsubsidized. But I have plans. I'm fucking moving out to Nebraska. That's a whole nother story. And fucking Simple Mobile has no service out there. So I might end up with the Nexus 4. Most likely I'll probably end up because I love the fucking phone. Like I get phone envy whenever I see any of y'all post to talk about that fucking phone. That shit looks fucking beautiful to me. I don't mind that glass back at all.
I put like a little vinyl thing on the back of mine. It doesn't scratch. And I haven't seen anybody with this phone. Like not one person in real life.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody with it either. I mostly see everybody with S3s.
Yeah, those are everywhere.
And notes. I see a lot of notes too now.
So what about so you went from the Nexus 4 and then you copped the Note 2, right?
Yep. So that was for cheap on eBay because it had a couple of defects. The screen had been replaced.
Okay.
So it had like a bubble in the middle of it, but it didn't cause no problems. That phone, for battery life, like you charge it once every other day, something like that. Yeah, 3100, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one has a big ass battery in it.
Yeah, the battery life was fucking great. And on that phone, I found myself actually using internet and browsing and videos a lot more than I ever had on a phone before, because of the screen, obviously.
Right. Did you use the stylus a lot, or did you feel like that was more of a gimmick?
I did not use the stylus really at all.
See, I always thought, like, when I was thinking about getting it or whatever, I was like, I think I would probably use the stylus, but then I think I would only use it, like, while I was working on stuff. Like say, you guys know I cover, events and things like that. So, like, I would probably use it, taking notes and things like that. But, yeah, I don't know. When I see people with that phone, I don't ever really see them using the stylus.
I mean, I tried to find reasons to use it. I mean, I have meetings too. Being in the military, the things I got to go to, and I tried to use it for that, but
not practical.
Just type. I'd rather just type it.
So no taking pictures and drawing mustaches on people.
Nah, I didn't use that at all, actually.
Huh? How was the camera on that?
Camera was great. Camera was pretty good. It's probably about the same level as the S3 you have.
Okay. Yeah, I really like the S3 camera a lot. Like, coming from my Evo 3D to the S3, like, I find myself taking pictures about, like, random shit more than anything.
Yeah. I think the screen's a little better than the S3 because it's, like, non-pentile.
Yeah. See, I don't have too much of a beef with the S3 screen. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, it's pentile. But I've seen a lot worse pentile displays. I think the Motorola ones, like the what's it called, the Electrify or the Photon or whatever, that one has a really, really bad one, like to the point where you can see, like, the dots that they use for the display and all of that. So, like, I don't have too much beef with that one. But you said that the Nexus 4 screen is better, or in your opinion, right?
Yeah, I like LCD way better.
Yeah.
AMOLED. It's brighter, it's just more clear.
Yeah.
Any dots, nothing like that.
The S3 screen and like, the AMOLED, like, I like it because I like colors, but, like, I agree a lot of people feel it looks, like, cartoony. Just because, like, the richness of the color.
Even on the Nexus, they came out with a mod you can do to make the colors more saturated. So it looks
really?
kind of AMOLED. I'm actually using that on mine right now, and it looks good, being LCD and saturated.
Because I know, like, on Samsungs, like, back in the day a while, they had, like, kernel tweaks, like the Voodoo tweaks. And, it was, like, picture enhancer, sound enhancer, like, all of that stuff. Because, like, Samsungs are pretty much, like, universal, like, hackable phones. Like, Samsung makes it so easy for people to do shit with them once you get, once you can modify the kernel source and all that good stuff. But, you want to talk to people about your iPhone bet?
I'm supposed to use it for a month. I made it about 2 weeks, maybe. I couldn't take it that long, man.
So you want to
like $100? What's up?
Man. No, I was gonna say, like, you and I were talking, and I know you were saying how you gave it some pros and cons for everyone compared to Android and stuff like that. So you want to just run down a couple of things, since people can't, they'll still probably call us biased, but it was a good experiment you had.
It was a good experiment. I mean, of course, the iPhone cameras are great. I don't like typing on it too much. The keyboard is too small. The screen's too small anyway, in general, to me. Keyboard, I made a lot of mistakes typing. Hated it. And big problem for me was, like, links. Like, if there was, like, a YouTube link or an Instagram link on Twitter, it wouldn't open. Like, if you click that, it wouldn't open the app. It'd, like, open a web page of Instagram or the mobile version of YouTube, which was irking me. Like, I don't know if there's something I'm not doing right. Actually, with Instagram, it would go to the Instagram link in the App Store, and then I have to open it from there.
What?
So it's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
And the thing is like, I feel like their settings aren't as, like, easily accessible. Like, Android, like, okay, you can set this app to default this, and you can set this app to default that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't do that. All the web pages default to open Safari, even though I have Chrome installed on it, so I can't do none of that. And the sharing options are not as good either. Like if you go to your gallery and go in a picture, I think the only sharing options it has is Twitter, Facebook, iCloud, and messaging. Like if they will give me like Dropbox or Box or Instagram even.
Yeah.
So I couldn't deal with that either.
See, I like having like on my S3 where if I want to share a photo or anything like that, there's like 15 options that I can choose from.
Yeah.
And it's all good because like just everybody uses different apps for different things, so it's like why limit the consumer to just what you want. But then again, we're talking about Apple here, and they don't play nice with others.
Right.
That's why the stock is slipping.
Google contacts also. I was walking through them all. It took me like 10 minutes to present that phone.
Damn.
And like that. I guess some pros, I do like iMessage.
Yeah.
I don't like when people complain about it going down all the time because it's still just fucking text message. But
yeah, I never understood. I know the day that it went, the one day it went down, you and I were like trolling for a good hour, fucking with people on Twitter about it.
I don't see the.
Because the message still gets there, and unless we jump back to like
nothing changes.
Yeah, unless we jump back to like the year 2000 where you only have X amount of text messages, I don't see the problem here.
One thing that really changes, I guess, is how like on Skype you can see when somebody's typing. They have that during time. If you miss that much, then whatever.
People want to know when they're being replied to, bro.
You taking too long. Type to me.
Yeah, or like the read receipt if you have that on.
They're making sure they ain't catching that curve.
Yeah.
They ain't sharing that.
Them read receipts, right? Everybody bitching about that.
Yeah. I've seen this too. I mean, I guess that's cool if you're paranoid about it. I haven't off.
Some people be sweating bullets when it comes to shit like that. You see my message?
You should see when I switch back and forth, right? People really notice. Like, what's going on? Your bubbles are green. Like, yeah, I'm back on my Android. They really get mad about it.
I want blue bubbles. People were like hashtagging blue bubbles and shit, and I'm like, what?
Chill, man.
And I felt like real non-hip for like 10 minutes until I figured out what the fuck was going on. I'm like, wait a minute, y'all bitching about this? Really? Of all the things? I don't know, but I feel like as consumers, Apple fans or Apple consumers, Apple buyers, users, whatever you want to call them, I feel like they do complain about little stuff. And us as Android users, we're like, yeah, we've been able to do that. So what's the big deal here? The one thing I will say, and you and I were talking about this a couple of weeks ago, is that, with iMessage, you can group chat with people, and you and I were struggling trying to do that shit on Android.
Yep. That's a good thing to have. I thought SMS was supposed to be, but
obviously that shit ain't work because you and I were like cracking jokes by ourselves.
There's a new app for that. I heard the cats in the Android thread talking about it. Hang on, I'm gonna pull it up right now because I remember they were talking. There's a real good app that lets you group chat on Android now. Let's see I think it's called GroupMe.
Oh yeah.
Hang on, I'll tell you right now. They were.
I looked it up yesterday. It's called GroupMe or
GroupMe. Yeah, I think that's what it was called. I'm on the page right now.
Some shit.
If it should pull up.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's called GroupMe.
It still should be native. So hopefully they fix that with what's it called, Babbel?
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, it would be nice. And we've, between the three of us, we've said it for I don't know how long now that they should have implemented Google Talk in the way that Apple has done for iMessage.
Well, I think that's why
Talk, they got Messenger.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got like three of them,
Google
and they all do the
Voice.
same thing, but nothing really particularly well. It's just bare bones I am.
Yep. So hopefully that gets fixed next month.
Yeah, with the Google I/O. I wonder what else. I wonder if they're gonna drop something, because usually Google has a habit of dropping something that, you know, they really didn't leak out much. So it'd be nice if we get like a little surprise. But I mean, if they just unveil this babble and push it out right away, like I'll be straight with that.
Whatever it is, my Nexus is ready.
Well, apparently they're pushing it out to every device that's got 4.1.2 or at least 4.11. So I'm like, hey, cool. I'm on 4.12, so I'm straight. Samsung they've been fucking around pushing up their updates for everything. The tables are turned, because a couple years ago they had phones still on fucking Eclair when, you know, Gingerbread was out and shit. And now they just gave the S2. They just gave the S2 Jelly Bean, so they ain't fucking around.
My coworker sold his S2 for $275.
What?
Wow, really? Like, how you get that much out of that?
Somebody must don't know shit.
I guess.
It caught somebody that just got out of jail. Oh shit, S2, son.
Let me get that.
So then your last step on your phone capades, I guess we could call them, is the HTC One, right?
Apparently, yeah. It's a great phone. I've found no complaints about this phone at all. Like, you can pick it up and it's just solid. Of course, it has the metal. It doesn't seem to be scratched or anything like that. 1080p screen.
You said the screen is like super nice, right?
Looking at it, basically. Super, super nice.
You text me the other day. You was like, you said you looked at your Note 2 screen in disgust or something like that, right?
We made an eBay ad to sell it. Yes. He had to go.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty fair trade. So what's the battery life? Have you come to a little consensus about that yet, or not?
I could get 12 hours on it. Probably.
Like moderate use, or would you say like heavy?
Moderate to heavy.
Okay.
It's pretty heavy. That's a mix of Wi-Fi and signal, playing some music, browsing Twitter, all that kind of stuff.
All right. So,
camera
do you feel? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
The camera deserves all the hype that it's getting. I'll let you know that much. The ultra pixels or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
4 megapixels. Deserves everything that the reviews are saying.
So you think a lot of people, like a lot of reviews are saying that this might be the best Android phone ever made. You think that's like a hype job, or you think it's fairly accurate?
I think it's fairly accurate, and I hope it won't. It won't, but I hope that it outsells the S4. But it won't. It should.
Yeah, HTC's kind of took a back seat the past couple of years.
Sense 5 is great.
What are the it doesn't have like the removable widgets, like they're stuck, right? Or was that just a rumor?
That blink feed thing?
I guess
that blink feed thing is gonna be there. I mean, you'll be when you press your home button. It doesn't have to be that. You can unlink that and make it to your traditional Android screen, which I have. I have blink feed over to the far left, which I actually find myself using, because you can link news, sports, Facebook posts, Twitter posts, like The Verge and all that kind of stuff is just there, like a Flipboard.
Okay, yeah.
I could use that, but like it's all there. You know, if I'm just trying to kill some time or sitting around, I'll flip through it.
I like that HTC does a really good job of integrating everything, like integrating your Facebook, integrating your Twitter, your news and things like that. They do a much, much better job than Samsung does. That's the one thing I'll give them with Sense and all that is like, I know sometimes like on my S3, I've got my weather, like for instance, I got like my weather on my lock screen, and sometimes the shit just don't want to update. I remember one day it was like 75 degrees outside. I get up, I didn't go outside before I got ready for work. So I put like a long sleeve shirt on and shit. I'm thinking it's like 46 degrees outside. I go outside, it's like 70 something. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? So I open up the Weather Channel app, and sure as shit, it had the right weather on there. And I'm like, like I kind of had to like, the fuck's going on here? With Sense, I never had that problem because as soon as you unlock your screen, you can have it set to refresh. So it's gonna pop up with the right shit.
Yeah, that's always there. I have like 2 apps.
Have you guys seen that new Yahoo weather app? And that new Yahoo got a dope ass weather app and a map app.
Nah, I don't be checking for Yahoo like that.
I only clicked on it because it looks it's a real good looking app. The weather one, at least. The map one's available for Android and iOS, but the weather one is only on iOS right now.
You suck weather or what channel the most?
Yeah, I use the Weather Channel. I don't even like the new Weather Channel app. I like the old one the best. Because when they updated, I'm like, man, they done made this shit too fancy looking. Like, so it took away from its functionality, I think. But that's just me being simple.
We're about social linking there. I forgot that I had the Lumia 920 also for a little bit.
Oh yeah. Let's. You want to talk about that so I can link this to what's your boy on the college name, Danny?
Who?
The Windows fanboy.
Hip Hop List Forever. Hip Hop List Forever. Yeah.
Yeah, that nigga.
What are we gonna link him up with?
Windows 8. It's
What were you gonna say about Windows 8?
The Windows 8 it's great. It has potential. Only thing killing it is apps, really. The apps are trash. Like, they look good, but as far as their functionality, it's not very, very good.
Okay, so it's not so much the
lack thereof of the app.
Lack of it. Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. If it's the app, like the lack of apps, or if it's the apps themselves that are trash.
It's both.
Oh. I like people who are like, oh well, you can't name one app that you use in your day-to-day life that you absolutely need that's not on Windows. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure there's a couple for everybody.
Their Gmail, or the mail, their Gmail wouldn't push through.
So
it's a big deal.
Like that every 15 minutes push?
Yeah, to do that, but like it wouldn't come through exactly when it's supposed to come through.
Yeah.
So that was a thing.
A thing.
And the map was dope. Like Nokia maps, it was really functional.
Yeah, I heard a lot of good things about that. You can like download all the offline maps and stuff, right?
You can do that. So that was useful. Camera was decent. It was great. Just the apps, man. So, yeah.
Build quality was good though, and the screen and all that was good. I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, all that was great too.
Okay. You said you have you got a couple gripes about the HTC One?
Yeah. You know, when you your app drawer, app list, or whatever, hold the app, it's supposed to like just drop onto the home screen, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever you try to do that. On this, you hold an app, and like your app drawer will stay there. And then at the top, you'll see 2 options that say uninstall or shortcut. You have to drag the app all the way up to shortcut, and then it'll go to the screen you want to drop it on. So that's a little weird.
That would be really annoying, I think.
If you're trying to take one of those apps from the bottom of the tray, put it on the screen, it's going to be on the screen and in the tray. Like, you can only modify the tray while in the app drawer.
That's weird. That's real weird.
And the home button is all the way on the far right side. I mean, I've gotten used to it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I still haven't seen this phone yet. Like, I walked into Best Buy last week, and they had like the demo, which doesn't have a real screen or anything like that. But like, I picked it up, like, and it feels nice though. Like, it feels really, really nice. But I mean, like, a lot of people complain about like the plastic on the Galaxy devices, and it doesn't bother me too much. But the metal definitely feels nice.
Yeah, we will once you hold this for a while. Like Nexus 4.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
All right, yo.
Like,
So
you can step this shit up, Samsung.
I think that's just their style. Like, I don't know if they're being cheap or what it is.
Probably just easier to mass produce.
Probably.
Sure, but.
All right, yo. So let's I guess our next topic we can kind of throw this into our pops up every now and again gadget or cool tech thing of the week, if you want to call it. And I saw this a long time ago, and I just kept forgetting to add it to the show notes or whatever. This shit is dope. It's called they're called NapPods or NapCabs. I'm sorry. And pretty much they have these in the airport in Munich in Germany, and it's like a little portable hotel room, pretty much in the airport. And I guess you pay by the hour, or you get X amount of hours for whatever. And it's got like a little bed and your own little room, I guess.
This shit was dope. I was looking at this. I wonder what the prices are like because they rent it out for 15-minute increments, which makes me think that's pretty expensive. Usually when they set it up like that, because you're not gonna get one of these just for take a quick 15-minute nap. You want one of these for at least 45 minutes. But these are definitely dope. The only thing I didn't like about them was I wish the little front window was like tinted. You know how it's like that light blue people can like see inside?
Yeah.
I just wasn't liking that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like being stuck in an airport. Like I could have used this a couple years ago. I was stuck in Chicago airport like all day after being on a flight all night, and I just wanted to sleep. And I had to sleep on a fucking one of those like benches, sort of like with the cushion on them that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the most uncomfortable shit ever.
Yeah, airports definitely don't have fucking any type of rest areas. And again, these things are genius. I'm surprised there's not like whole areas in airports dedicated to this, just because it's one of those places where you're gonna catch a flight delay, you're gonna miss a flight, you're gonna come in late, shit's gonna happen, and you're gonna have to spend hours on end in this place.
Yeah, I'm looking over a little bit more of the things, and it's got they've got some that have got like they got free Wi-Fi and a little TV in there and all that. That's cool though. Like, so you don't have to spend a ton of money if your flight gets canceled or whatever. You don't have to go to a hotel, and hotels around the airport are usually expensive anyway. So yeah, I think this is a dope idea. Just to get some rest or whatever.
You need to make it 24 hours.
Yeah.
When you only open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Yeah, that would you get in at like 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
You'd be fucking pissed. But I mean, I keep reading that they're gonna, they're getting ready to put some here in the U.S. So, it wouldn't surprise me if they did that. But then, like, I usually like go to the airport at night, like late at night, because I leave early in the morning, and I like to be early. So, like, anytime that I would go out to like Vegas or whatever, I would leave early in the morning. So I would just leave after work, since I don't get off of work till 12:30 at night anyway. I would just drive the 45 minutes, to the airport or whatever, and just chill at the airport overnight. The airport be shut down at that hour. Like, there's nothing open.
Not at all. I was reading. I think there's something like similar like this in Philly already. They were saying Philly has something similar. They just opened up last year, I think.
Yeah, I kind of want to use one, but only if it's necessary. I might on my next trip, if I see one, see how much the time to book it is, and just to say I did that shit.
I'm telling you,
take me a
wonder,
little cat nap in there.
I wonder how long before we get our sleeping pod porno. For somebody to have to record some shit in there. That's coming.
Somebody gonna videotape that shit inside of there.
Yep.
Hey, it beats them from doing it in the little ass airplane bathroom. I have to come up with a new name for it. Won't be the Mile High Club.
The Pod Club.
Be the fat pod instead of the NapPod. All right, so let's jump to our pop culture since we were kind of working on everything for a while now. Heisenberg season's returning, y'all.
Yeah. Officially. When's that coming up? I saw that and I hit the glad
August 11th.
August 11th?
Yep.
Nice. How did last season end? Remind me.
Oh, go ahead.
And I was gonna say, how did last season end? If you can remind me.
Hank was taking a dump and he saw the book. Yeah.
Oh, in the bathroom with his
Yep. And he had like that Weebay face almost.
Yeah.
I mean, Hank's a smart dude, so like I know that he was already like, I don't know. I kind of think like Hank was already suspicious of Walter. So I think like just seeing those, the initials from Gail, I think he's starting to put two and two together now. But it kind of sucks for him too because he's been hanging around his brother-in-law and all that. So I don't know. It's gonna make him look kind of suspicious, I guess you would say.
That'll be dope if he gets into the business. I know he's gonna confront him. He's probably gonna threaten him. But you know how our homeboy is. He can talk his way out of anything. Heisenberg.
I don't know, man. I think he was just. I think old Hank started feeling himself a little too much. Because what he say to that dude? He was like, "You know who I am," and the dude's like, "Nah, I don't know who you're." And he's like, "Say my name."
Yeah, that shit was wild.
He's like, he said, "You're Heisenberg." He's like, "You're damn right I am." But I mean, the last season ended up like dope, like where we had the montage of everybody getting bodied.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think.
Mike, yep.
Oh, what do you say, Princeton?
Some name is Mike.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I wonder if my boy Pinkman's gonna put two and two together that it was Hank that it was Walt that took Mike out.
I'm gonna say some unpopular shit, and I've said it before. I can't stand Pinkman. I can't.
That's my dude, man. I don't understand how you don't like him.
To me, he's the weakest link. He is. What was Homeboy's name from The Wire? Who they're always bitching about why they had the one that killed himself in jail, or that guy not killed himself in jail. The one they
D'Angelo?
Yeah, he's a D'Angelo to me, son.
Nah, but D'Angelo was soft for no reason. At least Jesse has like reason. Like Jesse is kind of a fuck up, but like if you think about his life and shit, like nothing ever went his way. Like his parents ain't like, you know how bad it's gotta be if your fucking parents don't like you, man.
But he has all that damn money all the time, and he's like shit, just always crying about some shit. That's what gets me.
Money's not everything. Like you figure his parents don't like him. His aunt, I think was his aunt that gave him the house. She was the only one that really like cared for dude. His best friend got fucked up. His girl died. Yeah, I don't know, man. I sympathize for dude. I mean, he's a massive fuck up. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I feel bad for old boy. I got a heterosexual soft spot for him.
And let me see what else going on in that fucking show. That shit's gonna be dope, man. I can't wait for that shit to come back. Cause we're on the drop right now.
Yeah, shit's.
Something happened to Skylar.
I hope so too, man. That bitch. Oh my god.
I'm done with her.
She's gotta go. She gotta go, man. She gotta go. Like, if nothing else happens this season. If we get her out of here, I will be a happy man.
She's like Andrea to me from Walking Dead, like just annoyed.
Like I think I could tolerate Andrea more than I could tolerate Skylar.
Yeah.
Cause she started like bitching about everything, bitching about the money, where the money was coming from, what he's doing with the money. Like, how you gonna complain about the money when you wanted in on it to begin with? it was your idea. He was keeping it from you. You got mad at him for that. And then when he told you how much money he was making, you got mad at him for that too.
That bitch needs to go. I wonder what's gonna happen with her fucking her crazy ass sister. What's her name?
Oh, damn, I can't remember her name. The klepto bitch, right?
Yeah. Her, I'm telling you, I think Hank is gonna start. It's gonna maybe this guy is gonna give him a little taste of that drug money. Hank might say no at first, and his fucking wife might be like, "Come on, let's get in this."
Nah, man, you can't trust that bitch with nothing, cause she gonna run her mouth. Hey, yo, y'all think something gonna happen with the German company or whatever?
I forgot about that.
I forget what was it called? Y'all remember what it was called?
Nah, I don't remember. I know he had that. He had that chick that they put the gun to her head.
Oh yeah. I don't remember her. Was it Emily or something like that?
Something like that.
I don't know, but she looked like she was on the verge of a nervous breakdown every fucking episode.
She had reason to be.
Yeah. Yeah, yo, she was getting squeezed from both ends.
Yeah.
And I wonder, a lot of people was talking about Hank's partner maybe being Gus's inside man or whatever. I don't know. Y'all buy that?
Who was it? Was it the black dude?
Nah, Gomez.
Oh yeah, the Mexican dude, yeah.
Yeah, him.
Being inside where though?
Remember, like, people were saying that, because they were saying, you know how that chick, she kept getting a tip, like that the feds were coming or whatever?
Yeah.
A lot of people think that is Gomi that's tipping her off.
But weren't they getting that from the bug they had planted in his computer?
Nah, remember they were at the office and somebody was like, you got 30 seconds until the DEA is at your office or some shit like that. So she started like trying to clear shit up or whatever. And then that's when Hank noticed that she had two different shoes on or some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think she might, if it wasn't for her kid, I think she would have probably committed that already.
She's one of those characters that you know she's gonna be. I'm surprised if she makes it halfway into next season.
Probably. Something she gonna be the turning point of the show, I think, like where something happens because of her, or something that she's done or said or didn't do. But with this show, like, anything can change on any like the smallest thing will affect, the whole storyline. So that's the one thing like that I do like about this show.
That bitch gonna go.
I mean, hopefully, if we in a perfect world, we can get rid of both of them, and we'll be good. But as long as Skylar goes, if for nothing else she goes, I'll be a happy man. She gotta go.
I think
simple as that.
Heisenberg's gonna do her. He'll take her out.
Maybe. I mean, he a part-time gangster now, so or he a part-time goon, I should say. He really been full-time gangster since last season, but he a part-time goon now. He's boss and goon all in one.
Catching bodies.
What you say?
Catching bodies, making deals.
Yeah, pretty much. He said, "Fucking outsource." keeping us all to myself. All right, yeah. So August 11th, it's gonna be good. How many episodes do we get? Like 8?
Something like that.
Damn. And I know it's gonna end on like some kind of crazy cliffhanger, and then I'm be upset and I'll bitch about it, and then I'll get over it.
As long as they don't drag one theme throughout the whole fucking season, I'm good.
They've been pretty good good about keeping the stories like fresh, I guess you could say.
Yeah, multiple storylines going on.
Yeah, like it's not like The Walking Dead where they like took one small little thing, like the inevitable confrontation between the governor and Rick. They drug it out for like 5 episodes. But I mean, the writers, and I think like the writers on Breaking Bad, like they have like 2 separate groups of like writer teams, and they pass each other, you know, each other's work. So like one group writes one part, and then the next group writes the other part. So it's like fresh, which is a dope ass concept.
Yep.
So I can't wait for this to come on. So you know we'll have something to talk about because we definitely are in a TV drought.
Didn't it get pushed back? Wasn't it supposed to start in like May originally?
I don't know, maybe, but I always thought that like I just assumed that it was gonna be like late summer because that's usually when it starts anyway. But it very well could have, and I wonder if Bryan Cranston getting his script stolen had anything to do with that either. Y'all saw that, right?
Probably. I heard about it. I didn't look it up or anything.
Yeah, it's like just a quick story. Like they were filming and dude broke into Bryan Cranston's car and stole. Dude had like one of those Indiana Jones satchels, like my man on The Hangover, and it had the script in it.
Bastards.
But dude, the dude that did it was like fucking bragging and shit that he stole it, and then he got fucking caught like a week later.
This is dumbass.
Yeah. Trying to fuck up everything. He would have been one of them assholes that like spoiled it for everybody. People don't be chilling when it comes to shit like that. They be like, oh yeah. I'm gonna open up my Christmas presents early ass people. Anyway, let me I went to see Olympus Has Fallen last weekend. I'm gonna just talk about it real quick. Did any of y'all see this yet?
No.
No.
It was pretty dope. At first I was like kind of side-eyeing it because it was like really, really cheesy at first. Like, for those of you that don't know the story, it's basically some Korean terrorists take over the White House and they hold the White House captive. They hold the president and the cabinet and all that. The movie starts off with my man Leonidas. As I'll refer to him as, because I rarely call actors by their real names. Yeah. I just call them by their most memorable character. But Gerard Butler, that's my dude. But Leonidas is he's a Secret Service agent, and he's on the president's protective detail or whatever. And the president is Two-Face from Batman.
Yeah.
So it took me like half the movie to figure out where I've seen him from. And then I just pictured half of his face, and I was like, oh, okay, I know who it is. But anyway, it kind of, the beginning really doesn't have anything to do with the story in itself. Like, they're in Camp David, and it's like Christmas time, and it's Gerard Butler and that nigga from American Horror Story. I can't even think of his name. Dylan McDermott. They're all in the Secret Service, whatever. They're guarding the president. And the president's son's like 12, 13, I guess. And, he's got like a little companionship with Gerard Butler's character. So they're getting ready to go to this fundraiser. And, the president's son is like, oh, can I ride with Mike? And so they're like, okay, yeah, whatever. Go ahead. And so they're driving, and the snow's getting worse. And some shit pops out of the road, and there's an accident on a bridge, and it's the president and his wife in a limo. And basically what ends up happening is the limo goes over the bridge, and the president's wife, ends up dying in the car accident. And Gerard Butler's character had to pretty much do his duty as a Secret Service agent and save the president. And he couldn't save the wife, so he felt like shit, obviously. So fast forward, dude's riding a desk at the Treasury Department. He's still, Secret Service agent, but he's just, a desk jockey now. And the South Korean president is visiting the White House for peace talks. And they introduced the security detail for the Koreans or whatever. And meanwhile, while all that's going on, you see this big ass plane that kind of reminds you of a C-130 cruising over DC. And this is why I side-eyed it, because in real life that shit wouldn't happen. So they dispatch the fighters or whatever, and the fighters end up getting shot down by this big ass fucking plane. And the plane starts opening up on everybody on like in the mall region, so everybody at the monument and everything like that. So while that's happening, these dudes like that dressed up like tourists storm the White House pretty much on some Call of Duty type shit. And pretty much the main goal for these terrorists is that they're trying to get these codes that launch that have the United States counter nuclear weapons.
Yeah.
And it's just, they can take out another nuke if something has been launched. So the only people that have it is the president, the Secretary of Defense, and this chief of staff. And so the Korean terrorist leader dude is like fucking everybody up to get these codes. Like, he beats the shit out of the Secretary of Defense, who's like the toughest person in this movie besides Gerard Butler, and she's a female. She's a beast. But Gerard Butler realizes something's going on, and he leaves his office at the Treasury Department to go check it out, and he ends up getting inside the White House. So he's pretty much on a Call of Duty mission where he's the only guy trying to get through the White House, trying to save the president, who was his friend, and he got pulled off the protection detail because of the shit that went down with his wife. So he kind of had like a little PTSD from that, and it kind of like fucked up his relationship with his wife, who's like whatever, he keeps telling her that they're gonna do stuff, and he never does because he's still fucked up and he feels bad about what happens. But it starts off a little corny. Morgan Freeman is the Speaker of the House, so he's like the acting president, and it's pretty much classic Morgan Freeman, because they're like, "Sir, you are now the acting president of the United States," and he like sits down at this big ass like boardroom table, and he tells his assistant, he's like, "Give me a coffee with 2 sugars, and get me on the phone with blah 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 blah," like in his God voice or whatever. But he plays it really, really well. Angela Bassett's in it. But yeah, I thought it was really, really dope. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Nice. Yeah, I'm gonna catch that shit at that bit.
Yeah, it's got some dope like action sequences in it. Gerard Butler might be the new wave action star. I like him more than what's the old boy from The Transporter? What's his name?
Jason Statham.
Yeah, I prefer. If Gerard Butler can get some more movies like that, I think he'll be the next big action star. Even though he is a little up there in age, I think. But dude's in pretty good shape. No homo. And he's got like this like asshole swag like in his movies. Like where he's always got like these like smart ass like one-liners and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I kind of dig that. There's some funny moments in this movie, and some good fighting, some hand-to-hand combat. Of course, there's Koreans in it. If I can be racist for half a second. But yeah, like all the gunfire scenes, like. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Like they got some, it's pretty much a Call of Duty mission in a movie. So I can dig it. So it's a good movie, like I said. And I actually went to go see this. I didn't obtain it from the internet. So I watched it in all of its movie theater glory. And the best part with the black folks in the audience with me.
Yeah.
because they were fucking like. There's some like dialogue between like Morgan Freeman like bossing up on people because I guess like one of the generals didn't want to listen to him, so Morgan Freeman had to like hit him with some like I'm the president type shit. So you know, black women when they hear somebody getting sassy, they be like, So like I was fucking dying. Like I'm laughing at the movie and I'm laughing at people's like commentary throughout the movie. That shit was pretty good. That might be my new favorite thing about the movies is like listening to people's comments. I know people were laughing at me because I was like, you know, I had my trademark "get the fuck out of here" a few times.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure the white teenagers were laughing at me saying that about 3-4 times throughout the movie. But it was pretty dope though. Like I said, the CGI was done really, really well. It looks real. Action sequences are pretty top notch. The hand-to-hand scenes are really dope. So yeah, like I said, 4.5 out of 5. So go check that shit out, y'all.
All right.
I gotta go see G.I. Joe next. I want to get that. I want to get on that wave. What you say?
Oh, good.
Oh, did you like the first one or not?
No, I remember the first one, bro. When I saw it, I was like, "Where's Marlon? Where's Marlon Wayans?" First of all, like he wasn't in this one. Yeah, I didn't really remember shit about the first
one. So The Rock is the only quote unquote black person on the movie?
Yeah, actually.
Damn. Oh, one other thing about that fucking about Olympus Has Fallen. The first person that gets like clapped up by the Koreans is a black dude. He gets stabbed in the head. Not shot in the head, stabbed. So I mean, there was a lot of white folks that died, you know, getting shot at from the Korean plane. But yeah, the first person to die at someone's direct hands was a black person, so I got a little problem with that.
Wow.
I'm used to it, man.
Yeah, I am, but still, you know how that goes. My expectations are low, and they always seem to trump them. One day, I just want to be wrong about something. All right, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about this bombing in Boston that happened on Monday. I've never seen something get covered so. I don't even know what the word for it is. Just the way that it's been covered. It's been everywhere, like all over Twitter, all over the news. This shit is crazy. I ain't never seen no shit like from social media to just everyone in general following the same story.
I think the most interesting thing I found about this, you know, besides the craziness that happened with all the bombing and all that, it really was, because I was on Twitter heavy doing this, and it's really how much quicker, and how much better most of the information was coming on Twitter than it was on the actual news. Like I had my tablet open, I had a laptop open, and I had the TV on, CNN on mute or whatever, and like I was really reading stories sometimes 5 to 10 minutes before they hit CNN and the other major news channels. Stories, pictures, and everything. I mean, on the actual event itself, it was very tragic, and 3 people lost their lives, including a young kid, a baby, pretty much. And one of the guys was killed. One of the other guys was captured yesterday. But like I said, from a tech point of view with it, to throw a little spin on it, was really amazing to me to see how quickly information gets out there now, like literally within seconds. And we get it before major news channels can get it. And that just goes to show that these news channels, they need to catch up, or fucking I don't know what they gotta do, but they're getting outworked out there.
Yeah, pretty much. I think the other thing, like to put a tech spin on it, is like them being able to pull all this is kind of a double-edged sword anyway, but we'll get into that next. But I think the one cool thing is that they were able to take all that footage from all of those, you know, security cameras from, you know, all the private businesses and everything like that. Like they were able to pull all of that together, you know, to piece together a timeline and things like that. Like I thought that was really cool. I don't think that there should be like any kind of state-sponsored surveillance, on the streets and things like that. But I'm okay with, using, in times like this, using private business, their news feed and their things like that, to find somebody's point in time or wherever they were and things like that. So that was a great job by, the FBI, and whatever other agencies that they had to call in for backup after the incident in Watertown and everything like that to piece together a timeline for where they found these crazy motherfuckers. But yeah, this pretty much just solidified my belief not to fuck with Russians.
Man, I said it in the thread, in the big thread in the higher learning. People talking about, oh, it's gonna give Chechens a bad name, man. Them Chechens been crazy, man. Them dudes been crazy.
I know. People act like that's some new shit.
Yeah, like they're soft out there. Them dudes, they get down out there. They've been at war for a long, like they've been at war with fucking Russia, man. With Russia. With fucking Russia, man. I mean, that's like fucking Alaska or some shit being at war with the United States like forever. Fucking them dudes get down. They've had a hard life. So I know that obviously that doesn't justify what these guys did, but coming from some Chechens out of all people, out of all Eastern European people, I'm not surprised.
You know who's happy right now, y'all?
Oh,
Arabs.
They're like, woo, took the heat off of us.
Cause I mean, just to put it like in simple terms, you know what I mean? Everybody, like honestly, not to be, I know I make a lot of race jokes and things like that, but when I first heard of bombings, I honestly didn't think that it was someone from the Middle East. When I think of someone bombing a public event, I automatically think it's a white person. I automatically do. Like, just like old boy that had that bomb at the fucking the Olympics back in Atlanta in what was that, 96?
5, I think 5 or 6, yeah.
So I mean, I always think that, but then people are like, oh, it's they're Muslim, so then they automatically, because people automatically assume Muslims are Arab or they're Middle Eastern, so they escaped one this time. So, and it's some dude in the Bronx got his ass beat because he was like in the wrong neighborhood, and they just assumed that he was a quote unquote terrorist.
Yeah, Puerto Rican
So,
dudes beat his ass.
It's still fucked up. Yeah, I mean, don't nobody want to be in the Bronx anyway. I know I don't. And I probably would blend right the fuck in up there too. Oh, catch my ass up there.
Yeah,
But yeah, and I think the other thing, like, to kind of change lines is it's always a couple of people. And Danny, I'm sure you've seen me in the thread, just playing devil's advocate against people with these tinfoil hat theories.
Yeah, it was funny. I think I've yet to see, at least for this one, I've seen one or two. It's, just been regular. The usual shit that you get at the beginning of events like this, which, it's an FBI setup. It's a false flag and all that. It hasn't reached epic levels yet, but I think once the guy starts talking, I think once, like, because this all happened in them getting captured happened, end of the week. I think once Monday rolls around, we'll see some good tinfoil fitted hats being made.
Tinfoil. I think my favorite. Did y'all see the 4chan photos with like the horrible circles and arrows? And I'm like, what are y'all really trying to point to? Like, and I said in one of the thread, I'm like, a lot of these are really bad reaches. Like, there was one where it had like the two guys that they said were the security contractors or whatever.
Yeah.
They have like both of their heads circled, and then they have an arrow, and it says they're looking in the same direction, but it's not at the race. And I'm like, how many times are you out with one of your homeboys, and you're like, yo, you see that over there? And y'all both looking at something. Like, if I'm at a basketball game and I see something crazy in the other direction, I'm not looking at one event 100% of the time. You know what I mean? But people, it's almost a stretch to say they don't use common sense because they're looking so far ahead that they don't see what's right in front of them. Like, they overlook common sense. It's like when I was in basic training and we're at the rifle range and you're looking at the 100-meter target instead of the 50-meter target. You don't see the one that's the closest one in front of you because you're too busy looking at, the harder explanation or the harder target to look at.
Yes.
So I think that's a lot of it. But some of these are so ridiculous. Like, why do we have so many unanswered questions? I'm like, well, it happened on Monday. It's Friday, and they just caught that dude. I was making jokes. I said they're gonna send that nigga to Guantanamo.
He's getting that one way. Soon as he gets healthy. And they question him. He's getting that one way.
Did y'all ever see that movie? Oh shit, what's that called? The one with Samuel L. Jackson where he's an interrogator. I think it's called Unthinkable.
Yeah. I hang on. I've seen it. Doesn't he like that? It's a lady running the show, and she calls him in, and she's like too squeamish for what he's doing.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember that one.
You ever see that movie, Preston?
Yeah.
He gonna get that kind of treatment.
Oh yeah.
Hey, like I was saying before, I'm not an advocate of anybody getting hurt, but sometimes there's a necessary evil. You know what I mean?
Hey, you wanna blow shit up? You gotta resist the waterboarding. That's what I say.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you wanna talk tough and do. If you wanna do big boy shit, you're gonna get big boy consequences.
Oh yeah, that's what's about to happen to his. So
another fuel for the tinfoil hat folks is the letter with Ricin getting sent to the White House.
Yeah, and you saw that they caught the guy that was sending them, and I forgot.
Oh, word?
Yeah, I forgot he had some weird shit. What's the weirdest shit about him? I gotta look that up. But the guy was weird, and so I mean, obviously he was weird. But
I mean, you can't be a normal dude sending poison to somebody through the mail.
Yeah, the guy was from Mississippi, and
well, there you go, right there.
Yeah. Homeboy's from Mississippi. I forgot what the fuck. Was it one of these guys that was living in the woods? Let me see. I don't think so. I know some shit was weird about dude.
I ain't never been to Mississippi, but I lived in Georgia.
A big update in the ongoing investigation into the
Georgia's got some
believed to
big
contain
cities.
ricin sent to.
My bad.
I don't want to be anywhere near that.
Yeah. Is ricin even poisonous like that? I know it's poisonous, but is that some shit that you just open up a letter and you fucking die?
Probably. Let me see. I don't know. Let's ask Walter White.
Yeah, was that the same shit that you used for Breaking Bad though?
Say what? Oh yeah, that was.
That's the same shit that you used in Bad.
Yep.
They were trying to get with it.
Yeah. That's what he was saying. They were trying to get Gus.
Oh yeah, ricin is made from castor beans and can kill within 36 hours. There is no antidote.
Shit.
Yeah.
No,
they're just trying to take Barack out. But I mean, it's all kinds of shit. Like, I think a lot of what it is like, people are like, oh, they'll find some way to connect all the dots. But it's like, they're like, oh, well, this has never happened before. But you also have to look at that, like you were saying, Danny, where Twitter gave you the news, boom, right as it was happening. We live in an age like news is instant. Everything is instant thanks to Twitter, the internet, all of that. So there's no precedent of how fast things come together as if we compare it to even 10 years ago or 15 years ago. Things don't happen as fast, but people's imaginations get out of control when it comes to stuff like that. Like I said, they don't use common sense. Now, it could be that some shit's going on, but at the end of the day, we're just normal-ass people in a normal-ass society, so we're never really going to know the truth about anything.
Yep.
And I'm okay with that, because there's just some shit that I'm not supposed to know, and I'm not going to spend my life stressing myself out and worrying about shit that I'm not supposed to know.
Ricin.
That's my philosophy. I don't want to end up like Mel Gibson in that movie Conspiracy Theory, where this nigga was just throwing shit to see if it sticks, and Captain Picard came and clapped his ass up.
Crazy. Well, yeah, man, these fools, they get
like I say all the time, a broken clock is right twice a day.
You know which one pissed me off out of these recent events? And it must be because I work with kids, but when the shit in Sandy Hook happened, Like that really gets to me. Like once dudes like, maybe I swore I heard one that were like, those kids really never got killed. Like the fuck, man. Like like
yeah, that was good.
I can kind of handle the whole pretending about the building collapses, pretending about if a bullet went here or there, but I really don't like when motherfuckers act like somebody really didn't lose their fucking not just one person. This isn't some old Chris Thornton is still alive type shit. This is like a dozen or more fucking kids. That's when I can't stand the tinfoil hats. Besides that, it's just entertainment.
Hey, did y'all see those pictures that were floating up where they said that it was the same woman from the Sandy Hook shooting was involved in she was a victim in the Boston explosion?
Yes, yo.
I heard they had people like front row there.
Yo, they had one. Yo, they had one. You guys heard about the dude that lost both his legs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why the fuck they tried to say that? That guy. How can he lose his legs if he had already lost them in Iraq? And they were trying to say he was a soldier or some shit in Iraq.
Yeah, that shit is that pisses me off.
Huh.
What were you gonna say, Princeton?
I was gonna say that I heard that they were like the Sandy Hook families, like front row there at the close to the bomb.
Oh yeah, I did. I read that somewhere too. The thing that this is so funny because this is like smart dumb nigga logic. Is like, okay, if there's an all-powerful organization going through all the trouble to make a false flag attack, why the fuck would they use the same actors?
Save money. Trying to save money, bro.
That's what kills me. Like, yeah, I just switched a bunch of money by using the same actors. Jesus, I don't know. I think
it's working though.
What'd you say?
I let you know it's working though. People are shook because on the base or at the clinic, I have to do like these RAMs, just like a random anti-terrorism measure or whatever. I have to go up to check ID and back like once or twice a month. So I was doing that like Thursday, I think. And this woman just like came in freaking out, saying there was like a van outside and it was like unmarked or whatever. And she read the information. That's like freaking out. I'm like, wow.
It don't take much for some people.
Nah, so it's working.
Yeah, whatever the mission is, it's working for some folks. You're right.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, exactly. But we gonna probably get some good info. We're gonna let those people that do all that secret shit get their answers from the young Russian. All right, y'all. So let's move along to our Nas sponsored L of the week. Princeton, you want to go first, man?
Yeah, I came across this so I think Samsung's want to be Apple so bad. They're out there throwing the dirt and throwing the salt on HTC. They hired a bunch of students apparently to go and place bad reviews and say, Samsung's better. They got caught. They admitted it. So this actually did happen. They face a penalty of like $800,000 or whatever from the Taiwan Fair Trade Commission. So I just couldn't believe that they would do that.
That's the worst kind of L, the public L.
Yeah. Like, y'all already got dirty reputation because, everybody says you lost the case.
Right.
So you already, they'll copy it. And they'll go do this shit.
Yeah, they're coming off as sore losers a little bit.
Yeah, that's why we lose in this phone war.
another casualty.
Yeah.
Danny, you got anybody this week?
Yeah, them dumbasses that blew up the Boston Marathon. They get the fucking L of the week. Well, at least the one that got caught. The other one's dead, so he ain't. But this one, boy, you about to experience more pain.
He got ran over by his own brother. That's an L in itself.
Yeah, but this one that's alive, you're about to experience more pain and suffering than you've ever.
He finna get that work
in your fucking life, man. You better wait, man. Listen, I'm gonna just give him the L of the week. I don't even want to make his situation even worse. He gets that little weak, whatever his name was.
Yeah, I can't say that nigga name. I wasn't even gonna try and butcher that shit.
Yeah, me neither.
That's why I kept that shit real generic. I was like the young Russian. I could have been fucked up and called him like Boris or something, but I didn't want to be, I've already hit my racist quota for the day, so.
Nico Bellic.
What do you say?
Call him Nico Bellic.
Yeah. All right, so my L is a big one. Don't even ask me how. But we talked about it last week, and Rick Ross is dumbass. But yeah, anyway, dude's about to lose $3 to $5 mil because he lost his Reebok deal for his date rape line. So yeah, he ain't even gonna see that milli, that 3 to 5. But I mean, I don't know. It's just anytime you losing money, that's an L, and 3 to 5 is a decent amount, especially for an entertainer where you make your money in bits and pieces, from shows or advances or whatever. So that's a nice little chunk out of what he would have, just for some stupid ass line. I don't think it, like I said last week, I don't think it's the worst line that's ever been said, but yeah, he picked a hell of a time to say that. So yeah, Rick Ross, go on and take this L for losing that bread.
I said it before. All he had to do was offer an apology. All he had to do.
Reeboks are trash anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't even honestly, I didn't even know dude had a sponsorship with Reebok. Did he have his own shoe or something?
I don't know what he had.
Let me see. Let me Google this. Because Reebok makes some ugly fucking shoes.
I don't think he had his own shoe. I just think he was doing just like fucking just.
Let's see what the.
Just like commercials and shit.
Oh, okay. How the fuck you get a fat dude to sponsor your shoes though? How does that even work?
That's for the motherfuckers getting some people to pay fucking premium price for some sneakers.
That don't even make no sense right now. Apparently. I mean, because if I think of Rick Ross, I don't think of sneakers. I think of fat, beard, and Maybachs.
Wingstop.
Yeah, Wingstop.
And getting shot at.
I forgot all about it. Yeah. And Lex Luger beats. Anyway, before I go on another part 2 tirade about Rick Ross. But all right, so let's jump to our Netflix recommendation. Danny, you want to go ahead? Because I know you got a new series that you want to put everybody on.
Yeah, my Netflix recommendation. I'm only 3 episodes in, but it's called Hemlock Grove. It just dropped yesterday on Netflix, one of their original series, and they've been, to preface this, they've been on a roll with Arrested Development, with Lilyhammer, and with the other show they just had about the politicians, which is really good, which is escaping me. But they've been 3 for 3 so far on this. Yes, House of Cards. They've been 3 for 3, so I gave this a chance. I'm 3 episodes into this one. It basically has that True Blood kind of swag to it. It's they haven't outright said it, but it's vampires, werewolves, and gypsies so far. It does have the kind of boring theme where teens seem to be the main characters, but I'm giving it a chance. 3 episodes in, it's good so far. Only disappointing thing, which is real disappointing for me personally, because I hated the fucking werewolves, quote unquote, from True Blood, because they were nothing but wolves, not true, like legit werewolves. And so far in this show, they're going with the whole just regular wolf type angle for it. But it's a good show so far. I recommend it because, as I said, Netflix, they're solid. And what I'm really waiting for is to Netflix to give us a fucking gangster series. We need a fucking Sopranos or Boardwalk Empire shit on Netflix. But my recommendation for this week is Hemlock Grove, werewolves, vampires, and gypsies.
Might have to check that out. I don't use my Netflix that much anymore. I've been peeping like all kinds of documentaries, and I was gonna do one for y'all this week, but since I did a documentary last week, I'm trying to switch it up a little bit. My Netflix recommendation for y'all this week is filled with a bunch of unintentional comedy is Locked Up Abroad. This is my shit because pretty much if y'all don't know, it's basically, it's it started off as a British show, and it's just people telling their stories about how they were doing some stupid shit and they ended up getting put in some third world hellhole prison for like smuggling drugs, or most of the time it's smuggling drugs. For instance, like someone just smuggling coke from Peru, and they get put in this shitty ass prison, and they're the only Americans there, and they don't have no prisoner rights down there. So it pretty much like tells their story. A lot of times it's like some woman who's like young and she wants to party, and some like foreign dude like charms her over and tricks her into carrying some drugs for her through the airport or whatever. But yeah, you get to see like their harsh ass sentences that they have in other countries and the way that they treat you and their like policy on drugs and stuff. So I don't ever want to hear people complain that America's drug sentences are too stiff, because they're ridiculous in some countries. But yeah, I don't know how many episodes are on here. I think it's a good amount, but it's pretty good. Just like I said before, like other countries. Justice system and things like that, and then just the unintentional comedy of people doing dumb shit and not thinking that they'll get caught. So that's my Netflix recommendation for this week is Locked Up Abroad. Princeton, you got anything for everybody?
No, I just finished up watching House of Cards about 2 weeks ago. You guys probably already talked about that.
Yeah, I think Danny recommended it a while ago. I watched a couple of episodes, but like I said before, I only usually watch Netflix at night when I'm getting ready to go to bed, so I can't really watch something that has to keep all my attention because I'll end up staying up all damn night. But everybody says it's really, really, really good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'm not usually into the politics, but it kept me interested though.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to, maybe a weekend where I'm not doing shit and there's nothing on TV, I'll probably have to sit down and watch it. But playoffs time is right now, and yeah, my Celtics are up by a little bit right now, so I'm pretty happy dude.
I'm surprised.
Hey, never count us out, man. All right, so let's go with some shout outs. Princeton, you got any shout outs, man?
Nope. Really?
Easy.
Nobody, particularly everybody.
Easy. Danny, you got any?
Yeah, man. Shout out to Prince for joining us today. Shout out to everybody out there who's been listening, like always. Shout out to all the bros at the Kali. Shout out to the Kali. We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary, 10,000 members strong. There's some shit planned for that day too. And again, shout out to all our listeners. Keep listening.
Yeah, I just got a quick shout out like I normally do. Shout out to my homeboy Lukey over at Lukey Boxing. If you're a boxing or an MMA fan, come give us a listen. We got a nice little crew over there. Yeah, it's pretty much all types of fuckery, and no athletes are safe on that show. So yeah, if you guys like combat sports, give us a listen. Lukey Boxing, we're on Stitcher, all of that stuff. Podomatic, anywhere you want to listen to anything, that show's probably on there. So out of all of that, like we said, we're back now, so we're coming for the takeover again. So for Princeton, for Danny, I'm Jut. This is GeekSet Radio, Free Max B, and we're out.